Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. You gonna say good morning, Mr. Meow? News? Okay. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, in the description box, you're gonna see a link to the article that. Blah! I'm not awake. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read. It is written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics, where they surveyed over 900 ABA professionals from all over the world in regards to the JRC's quote-unquote behavioral treatment program. Matter of fact, the JRC doesn't want you to read this article so much that they threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused. So, you know the drill. Read it again, read it a third time, and share it on all your social media. We also have the link to NeuroClastic's public statement on the matter, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding them just in case the JRC has the balls to see through their threat. We include the links to the Agape boarding school situation. Agape Boarding School is a Christian-themed boarding school out in Stockton, Missouri that deals with quote-unquote troubled male teens that has currently, and counting, 19 pending lawsuits alleging sexual abuse, and child labor exploitation, and starvation, among many other things. We have the articles that I've gone through each of the videos so far. I have yet to come across anything from Agape Boarding School in which they do anything at all to defend themselves. If you see anything out there, please link me in the comments. We also, of course, have the pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject, the templates, and the ever-present self-explanatory Change.org Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center Down petition. When we discuss the JRC, folks, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you do have young children present, please go ahead and use your headphones, all right? All right, thank you for that. It's 10:28 in the morning. I'm slightly brain dead and mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. Thank you, job. So, if I stumble over my words, apologies in advance, all right? Okay, so where we left off the evening before last, while we have to do this in the morning because I had open chat last night. 122. Classroom visitations by the review team revealed that limited interactions occur between students or between staff and students. The main interactions witnessed involved staff rotating GED electrodes as required for GED safety on the students' bodies when an alert set at hour intervals instructed staff to rotate the electrodes. Okay, now they're going to give me word salad. Fabulous. This is false. Staff are always interacting appropriately with the students. What was not witnessed was staff socializing with the students or students socializing with the other students in the classroom setting. You know that the victims back up NSED, right? Are you aware of the fact that this is what they saw with their own eyeballs? So once again, folks, we're supposed to suspend disbelief, common sense, and logic in eyewitness portrayals, but we're just supposed to believe the JRC. Fucking God. But they didn't see it. It happens, they just didn't see it is all. You all really don't understand the whole concept behind unannounced visits. Like it goes completely over their heads. If you call shocking a student for breathing the wrong way and then claiming it's justified because non-compliance is socially appropriate. Maybe it's not the student that needs to be on the device, huh? Just saying. When you call, it's not fucking appropriate to have someone walking back and down. Good using your words constantly on a fucking loop. That is not socially appropriate. Nor would it be accepted anywhere out in the real world. That's not how they act in fucking high school or public school. I noticed because that's where I went. It's not socially appropriate, JRC. Not anywhere. Matter of fact, your forms of communication is more awkward than fucking mine, and I'm the goddamn autistic here. If I am more socially intelligent than you people, what does that say about your teaching methods? You do not appropriately interact with those students. Acting like dictators of the worst sort as opposed to acting like educators and medical staff, not socially appropriate. Just saying. But they do interact in the classrooms. It's actually been found out and backed by NSED that socializing with the other students is actually discouraged, particularly if they're on loss of privileges. But socializing is a privilege. Isn't the whole concept supposed to be getting us prepared for the real world in which we will be forced to socialize? Yes, even if we're having a behavior. By making them earn the right to socialize. Again, may I bring to you the fact, most of us don't want to fucking socialize. That's not a reward for us. That is something we have to do to get by. We're hardly signing up to be in like any sort of group. I'm just going to be blunt with you. I didn't even begin to actually enjoy socializing until I was able to do so as an adult among my neurodiverse and disabled peers. Yeah. So the whole concept of socializing as a reward, fuck me. The classroom setting designed to enable each student to work on his or her academics is related to his or her IEP. There are plenty of opportunities for the students to socialize with one another at the residence, during outdoor activities, during field trips into the community, and during playground time in the big reward store, etc. All of these things, again, folks, that they have to earn the right to. You got to read between the lines here. What they are not saying is that they do not actually encourage socializing inside the residence. They encourage bullying inside the residence. Something backed up by both NSED and the testimony of Jennifer Masumba. Their so-called outdoor activities, unlike, everybody else who's ever gone to public school, they have to earn the right for fucking recess. They have to earn their right to field trips. They have to earn their right to playground time and be inside that godforsaken bad acid trip from hell Disney just fucking died and choked big reward store. So, it's not the flex you think it is, JRC, for anybody who has 2 brain cells to rub together, 5 minutes, and access to Google. Okay? That is not encouraging socialization. Spare me. I mean, my God. None of these areas were observed for any significant time period by the review team because they know it's garbage. The JRC wants you to believe that NSED doesn't understand what's really going on there, but they forget the goddamn fact that we read the paperwork, the abuse reports, all of it before we do unannounced visits. It's this stupid. If you would just let us explain to you. No, you don't understand. Unannounced visits is we are the authority. Your ass is grass and we're the goddamn mower. That's what unannounced visits are. This garbage where they keep trying to say, but they just didn't observe it. They didn't even look. They didn't let us explain it to them. It is the most condescending bunch of bullshit I've ever heard. And I've heard some whoppers. You're not the authority, JRC. No matter how much you've gotten away with in the past, you are not the authority. Period. Jeez. One student that NSED interviewed was present for only part of the time NSED was at JRC because he was on a field trip. Oh, for fuck's sake. JRC informed NSED that a large group of students were attending a group outing on the third day of May visit and offered to have them go along for part of the time. This would have been an opportune time for them to witness this social time between students, but the NSED visitors chose not to go. Because, again, you make them earn the field trip. God, how many times do I have to say this? What about the students who didn't get to go? Because noncompliance. That's New York's point. You do not encourage socialization at all. By the way, as I can tell you, as an autistic, field trips with the rest of my classmates were a fucking sensory, socialization, emotional, draining goddamn nightmare for me as a kid. A nightmare. The only redeeming quality those field trips actually had would be I'd get a little bit of money to be able to get like maybe something at McDonald's like nuggets, but that was pretty much it. Pretty much it. And if you thought that I was socializing with these fucking people who made my life a living hell, yeah, no. Not so much. I stuck to the fucking teacher like glue. I sat by my teacher at lunch. I did not run out on the fucking playground with all the screaming and the noise and the sounds. Just putting it bluntly here. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. The JRC actually doesn't promote socialization amongst students. The idea that they are touting all of these things when they know goddamn good and well that the students have to have enough points to go on these outings and have these outdoor activities and to be able to go outside and play on the playground. And the fact that they willfully, knowingly leave that out of this little rant is very telling. See, the JRC is not honest. That is why NSED had to go in and do unannounced visits, so they can tell you with eyewitness clarity what is really going on. The fact of the matter is, the JRC just thinks if they could just explain it to you, They think they're the only authorities on the planet in regards to these kids, and they should therefore be able to do whatever the hell they want to them with perfect fucking impunity. That's not how it works. That's literally not how any of this works. You are not the authority who gets to get away with whatever the fuck you want to because you say so. You don't get to define other people who are unbiased and not in your fucking pockets opinion when they come to your school. When they spill the tea all over the place, you don't get to use these vague word salad bullshit responses and get away with it. Not to mention, you have lied repeatedly throughout the entirety of this response. And on that note, folks, I'm going to go ahead and close out. We don't get very many reviews on this channel, especially on this subject. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time, and as always, we here at Smelling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.